In this video, I'm going to show you how to build this amazing AI workflow with n8n that's going to take any YouTube video, extract its transcript, summarize it, and then convert that into a professional LinkedIn post, or it could be transcribed and transformed into any other purpose. So for example, you could utilize a long form video like a podcast or an e-learning course and convert all of that into a nice summary, so that way you can take advantage of all of the content inside without watching the entire video. So this could be repurposed for a lot of different use cases. For my particular one, I'm just going to show you how to take YouTube video links from a Google Sheet, convert that into a LinkedIn post, and I'm going to show you how to do other things with this too. So this is going to be, again, a super useful workflow, so make sure you stick around till the end, because I'm going to show you a few different tricks that you can take this further and create your own different versions of it. I'm going to walk you through step by step in this node, so regardless of your background, it will all make sense, even if you're new to n8n or completely beginner with no background in coding at all. We're going to be utilizing the RapidAPI to grab the YouTube video ID, convert that video into text, and use a few different LLM chains using our OpenAI chat model to convert that into a nice summary. And then we can add additional LLM chains to be able to create posts, create a summary for our email, and we'll also be able to loop through the links that's going to be present inside our Google Sheet. Again, this is going to be very useful, so make sure you stick around till the end because you will learn a lot. If you're new to the channel, my name is Zubair. My YouTube channel, my skill community, is all about building amazing AI agents with n8n. So regardless of your background, this is going to be a great space for you to learn, collaborate with like-minded individuals, and take advantage of this amazing opportunity that's in front of you. We have a great classroom, so regardless of your background, there's going to be plenty of things for you to learn. Even if you're an absolute beginner, there's plenty of things for you to get started. We also have exclusive deep dive topics like voice AI agents, vector databases, AI agents, and n8n, which one to use for what purpose. We have a calendar section that we have daily calls from tech support to live builds to business strategy, where you can come in and understand how to utilize AI automation and your new skills to make money with AI. We also have our amazing community that's always posting for contract work. So all you have to do is get into this community, start learning, and once you get your skills updated, you'll be on your way to making money with AI and take advantage of this amazing revolution that's ahead of us. I'm going to put the link in the description. I'll hopefully see you there. All right, let's get back to the video. All right, let's go ahead and test this out. I'm going to go ahead and show a demo first, and then I'm going to walk you through step by step on the different nodes here to see exactly what's going on. So right now, as you can see, I added a video link, which again is this link of a video that I created a few days ago about explaining the difference between AI agents, AI assistants, and RAG. So I'm just copying this right here and I'm pasting it right here. There you go. Oops, I think I got that wrong. There you go. Yep. So let me make sure. Yep, that's good. So now the status is next, meaning that it's going to keep looping through. Let me actually cut this off, otherwise it's going to keep looping. The second one, actually. There you go. All right. So this should be able to provide a summary first and then a LinkedIn post. So let's go ahead and take a look at that. I'm going to click on test workflow. So right now, there you go. It's grabbing the video link. It's going to move through and it's going to process all of the different nodes here. And then it should be able to provide a nice LinkedIn post here. And it's going to keep going to the next video link because we have this loop item. And again, I'm going to explain all of this in a little bit. But as you can see right now, all of this is being processed. The video gets summarized. We're utilizing this RapidAPI to grab the video ID, and as you can see, it went through and it's looping now. It's working through it again. So there you go. So right now, as you can see, it provided a nice LinkedIn post about demystifying AI, understanding assistants, agents, and RAG, which is perfect because that's what the video was all about, right? So it's going to keep going and move on to the next one, which is going to be this one, the second one. There you go. As you can see, this got also, let me move up a little bit. There you go, right? So as you can see, it does its job, where now we're taking this video link using our workflow to completely automate this entire process. All right, so now let's go ahead and remove this and jump into different nodes, so that way I can explain exactly what's going on. So let me actually delete this one too, so that way we can start fresh. All right, so let's remove the status here, the next. All right, perfect. So now we have our basically our workflow with, or sorry, our Google Sheet with only 3 links here. So let's go ahead and jump into the nodes here. Obviously, this is a schedule trigger. So if you want to automate this process where you have this workflow live, you can run this on a certain time of every day, or again, those trigger intervals can be configured here. Or if you want, you can just have a manual trigger here as well. So the get video link, so this is the Google Sheet that we looked at earlier right here. So we have 3 columns here: video link, status, and LinkedIn post. The status is basically, there's 2 different options, next and done, right? And I'm going to explain in a little bit what that means. So this Google Sheet account, this is the credentials. If you haven't, if you don't know how to connect this, please watch my previous videos. I've done a lot of videos on how to connect your Google account here. So you're basically going to connect your Google Sheet account. The resource is going to be sheet within document. The operation is going to be get rows, because obviously we're getting the row here. We're looking for these different video links here. And then if you have connected your account properly, you should be able to load all of your documents that are in your Google account, in your Google Sheet account. This particular document is called Video Link Store. So I'm going to select that. The sheet's going to be sheet 1. I haven't changed it. The filters. So this is what I'm doing. I'm providing a filter here because I want this workflow to look for the status called next, because I wanted to see if it says done. If the status is done, I don't want this workflow to keep processing the same video over and over again, right? So that's why we have to put a status here. Again, it doesn't have to be next. You can change this to whatever you want, as long as you can identify the filter right here, which in this case we did. I said the column needs to be status and the value needs to be next. So that's what it's looking for. And then the combined filter here. So there's 2 operations, and or. So when you say and, it says only rows that meet all of the conditions are going to be selected. And in our case, the condition is right here, which is the status means next. Okay. So now that's where I'm looping, adding a loop node. This is a very simple node. It basically goes through, and if the condition is met, it's going to keep processing the workflow. So the next one is going to be, so actually, let me go ahead and process this. So let's go ahead and process one at a time now. So now, as you can see right here, we got row number 2, video link, which is this one. As you can see, 84S is at the end. Yep, that's the correct one. So now we got that, and we got the status as next. And the 3rd column is LinkedIn post, obviously, right? So we have all of our output here, and we can take a look at this as our JSON schema as well. All right, so this is good to go. Now let's take a look at the next item here, which is our loop. So let's go ahead and test this stuff. So now this is going to take a look at the loop branch. So if it's done, it's going to go to the done branch. If it needs to be looped, then it's going to go to this branch. In our case, this should be looped because the status says next, right? So then now we need to do a set node because we want to be able to grab the video link. And so we're just basically setting the YT_link. You can set this to whatever you want. And I'm just essentially grabbing my video link, which is this one right here. So all you have to do is just grab that over there. So now let's go ahead and test this. So this should now take the YouTube link. Perfect. So all we need is the YouTube link here to be sent to our next node. So that's good. So now I'm using a code node. Again, you don't have to write a single line of code. Use ChatGPT, use Claude, whatever your preferred large language model is, to just basically, prompt it and say, hey, I want to be able to extract the video ID from this particular link, right? So that's what I'm doing. Very, very simple. So let's go ahead and test this step, and you will see that this is going to go ahead and give us 2 different outputs. One's going to be the YouTube link, which is from the previous loop over items, and then the second one is going to be the video ID. So now we are grabbing the video ID with this code node, and this is where we're going to get our transcript using this HTTP request node. So the way I'm extracting my transcript from my YouTube video link is using RapidAPI. RapidAPI is a super popular API marketplace. So if you're not familiar with it, check it out. It's amazing. They have a lot of free APIs as well that you can utilize. And that's exactly what I'm doing. I'm using this YouTube video summarization GPT AI. So what this does is this essentially gets the YouTube transcript and uses AI to summarize the YouTube videos basically in one click. So that's what it does, right? And it gives you the introduction here. So what's important here is that when you come to these APIs, all you have to do is take a look at the different endpoints and the method of that API request that needs to be sent. And as you can see right here, it gives you a proper endpoint, and it's also telling you that the method is going to be get, and you're going to be sending headers and parameters, right? So you need to send the headers, which is going to be your API key. So go ahead and create a RapidAPI key. It's free to sign up. Feel free to do that. And by the way, this API is also free, and as you can see right next to it right here. All right, so what we're doing is we're sending 2 headers and 2 parameters. The header is going to be your RapidAPI key, and then the parameter is going to be video ID and platform. The platform is going to be YouTube, obviously. So, and that's exactly what I'm doing, right? I'm using this HTTP request node. So I'm using the method as get. The URL, this is the same exact URL that I'm grabbing from here. So it's right here, for example, URL. So I'm literally just copying, pasting the URL from there. Right here, let me see, let me double check, make sure I didn't do this. Yep, it's this exact one, right? That's the endpoint. So you're going to put that in there. The authentication, we're going to keep it as none because we're going to send our query parameters. So our query parameters is going to be using the fields below. And what we're doing is we're sending the video ID. And in our case, the video ID is coming from our code node right here. So this is the video ID that I'm grabbing here. And then the platform is going to be, again, YouTube. And that's because in here we have to, as you can see, the parameters says video ID, and it needs the platform from which the video is sourced, aka YouTube. So that's exactly what we're doing, right? And then afterwards we're going to send headers, obviously just based on whatever they have told us here. Like you can see right here, your RapidAPI key, and then the endpoint host here. So that we're doing, I'm sending X RapidAPI key. This is going to be the API key that you're going to copy and paste. And then the next one is this, and that's going to be your YouTube API URL that we saw right here on top, right? All right, so that's pretty much, we're done with the HTTP request node here. So what we're going to do is next, we're going to take a look at the set node, because we want to be able to grab the data or the transcripts that's coming off of that HTTP request node here. Oh, actually forgot to test this. So let's go ahead and test this out, because this is going to go ahead and reach out to this API, and it's going to grab all of the transcript from that particular video. And there you go. As you can see right here, all of that transcript got grabbed. So if I go to the JSON file, right, you can see all of the text here, and probably through schema will be better. There you go. Yeah. So this is all of the transcript, and obviously this is going to be provided from the HTTP request via an object. So that's why you see this kind of broken down into different sections here. But we're going to go ahead and combine that. And the way to do that is going to be done to the code node. But before that, what we need to do is we need to grab just the transcript, because from that API, we have a lot of output that we don't want to necessarily grab. So we just want to be able to grab all the transcript objects only. So that's exactly what I'm doing. I'm using the set node to be able to grab the transcripts only. So let's go ahead and do that. So I'm going to test that step. So now, as you can see, I have all of the transcripts. All right. So now that we have that, we're going to go ahead and use same thing again. We're going to use our code node to be able to just grab, combine these transcripts, right? So I'm going to go ahead and test this step. Again, same thing. I'm not using any code myself. I literally just took a screenshot from this output that's from the previous node, and I output it in my custom GPT, and I told it to generate a code, because all I wanted to do is combine all of these different transcripts that's in the object output into one combined transcript. And that's exactly what I did here. So now that we have all of the transcript combined, so now we can go ahead and use our basic LLM chain. Again, I try to avoid using too much AI agents if it's not absolutely necessary, because of the fact that it slows the process down. So if it's just some kind of a simple action that you're performing, that's why n8n has these other nodes in AI agents. Like besides the AI agents, if you go to advanced AI, besides the AI agent, you have all these other chains. Again, this specific one is a basic LLM chain. So this is a simple chain to prompt a large language model. And that's exactly what we're doing. We're not necessarily putting an AI agent that's going to require a lot of additional tools that it needs to interact with. Therefore, since it's performing one operation, a basic LLM chain will be sufficient, right? So in our case, I'm literally just saying, hey, I'm defining this prompt below, and I'm taking this combined transcript that's coming in from my previous code node, and now I'm prompting the system to say that you're an agent, You're a content analyzer, internationally recognized for your ability to deconstruct complex transcripts, blah, blah, blah. I mean, you can play around with this, right? Like you can, same thing, you can utilize ChatGPT or Claude to be able to come up with a really nice prompt depending on what your use cases are, right? And in my case, I'm just literally summarizing this. So this particular one is just to summarize the transcript that's coming in from my previous code note. That's literally all I'm doing, right? And I'm using my OpenAI chat model. You can use Anthropic, you can use Google Gemini, whatever you prefer. So let's go ahead and test this note out as well. So I'm going to click on test step, and this is going to grab that combined transcript from the previous code note, right? And as you can see right now, it's working, and it's going to go ahead and summarize that. And the output, as you can see, it's a nice output with the introduction, with the overview of terms, blah, 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 all of that stuff. And that's because this video, I went ahead and I go ahead and explain the difference between AI agents, AI assistants, and RAG. So that's exactly what it's doing. It's taking all of that transcript, which is a very long transcript, and summarizing it. So now in the next note, same thing. This is a basic LLM chain. So all I'm doing is grabbing the text that's coming out, basically the summary of the video transcript from the previous node, which is again another basic LLM chain. And now I'm able to do other operations here. And in this case, I'm creating a LinkedIn post with this specific direction that I provided, right? So, and I'm providing it examples here. And then on top of that, also the instruction that, you know, you must adopt a professional tone that's suited for LinkedIn audience and all that good stuff. So again, now depending on what your use case is, so you can do this, you can change this workflow now. So you can take a YouTube video, for example. Let's say there's a podcast, or there's a big conference, or there's a big lecture that you don't have the time to listen to. So this is a perfect use case for this workflow, where now you can take that entire video and you don't have to listen to anything. Now all you have to do is convert that into transcript, grab the transcript via this API, and then now you can use your basic LLM chains to be able to summarize that. And then now you can create a social media post. You can send yourself an email of the summary. If you are, for example, preparing for a meeting, right? If you're meeting a client and they already have content on YouTube, this is a perfect use case for that, where now you can take the content of that entire lecture and you can summarize everything and grab the most important points, so that way you are prepared for your meeting, or you have good knowledge of that client or that lecture, whatever it may be, before the meeting or the interaction that you're going to have. All right, so for my use case, again, I'm just using this to create a LinkedIn post. So that's exactly what I did. I just prompted the system here to grab this text from here that's coming in from the previous basic LLM chain, and now it's going to go ahead and create a nice LinkedIn post. And as you can see right here, I've got a nice LinkedIn post. So I'm going to go ahead and now send this into 2 different routes. And this is where, again, you can play around and change things yourself. I'm sending myself a draft Gmail, and then also I'm updating the Google Sheet. So this is very important, because now I want to be able to change the status of this particular row from next to done, right? So that's exactly what's going to happen. So as you can see, right now it says next. Let's go ahead and actually click on update this sheet right here. And what I'm doing here is, again, same thing. It's a Google Sheet. I'm just operation this time is going to be updating the row, right? So what are we updating? We're updating the status of that particular row from next to done. And that's exactly what I'm doing, right? So I'm grabbing the column, the video link, right? The column to match on, right? So that's what we're grabbing, the video link, and then the video link to match. And again, this is just coming in from our YouTube link that we created earlier. As you can see, if you just click on the expression in the bottom, this will show the results, and you want to make sure you double check that to make sure you're grabbing the correct video link there. And then we're updating the status to done, right? So and then obviously the LinkedIn post, so this is going to be the column, so we're updating also the column right here. If we go back here, so this column, right? So the third column is the LinkedIn post. And where are we getting that LinkedIn post? We're getting that from our previous LLM chain. So in this case, it's right here. So that's literally what we're doing here. So let's go ahead and test this step. So if we did everything correctly, now all of this column should be updated. The link should stay the same, obviously. The status here should change to done, and then the LinkedIn post should be generated newly and updated into this particular row. So let's go ahead and click on test step. And if I do that, as you can see now, There you go. Perfect. That got done. So now let's take a look at there you go, right? So this particular link, the status changed to done. And then we also got this nice little LinkedIn post. So that's exactly what we wanted to get this done. And the same thing now, we can go ahead and send this to another route where we're going to mark down, because we want to take this 10 text that's coming in from our previous node here, and we're going to mark it down to HTML, so that way it could be ready for our Gmail draft. So I'm going to go ahead and click on test step here. So this will go ahead and create that, and there you go. Perfect, right? So we got our markdown done here. So for the next one, we can go ahead and send ourselves a nice little draft. And the way to do that, again, same thing, you'll connect your Gmail account. Resource is going to be draft. The operation is going to be create. I'm giving it a subject as LinkedIn post. And then same thing, the email type is going to be text. So I'm just grabbing the text right here. Or if you want to change this to an HTML, then you can go ahead and grab your data here, and this will format it in the HTML format. So just again, you can play around with this depending on what your liking is. But I'm going to go ahead and use this text here, and then I'm going to click on test step. So now I should get a draft here. There you go. So it looks like everything works. So now if I go to my email here, there as you can see, I have a nice little draft here with all of the different AI assistants, AI agents, retrieval augmented generation, like a nice little summary. So now you can see that all of this is working. Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and test this one more time. And this time I'm going to remove this and then change this to next. And we're going to go ahead and test out the entire workflow. So you can see that it's going to loop through and change all of these different links, or process all these different links. So let's go ahead and press that. I'm going to click on test step. So now it's going to go ahead and start with the first video link, which is going to be this one that we just worked through earlier. So it's going to go ahead and create that summary. It's going to create a LinkedIn post. It's going to update the document here to the different status, and then also the LinkedIn post. And then it's going to keep looping until all of the videos there are done. And you'll see, there you go. So that email is sent. So now it's going to go ahead and update that. And there you go. It started again, right? So now it's going to go ahead and process the second one. And as you can see, the first one got done. So that got updated. LinkedIn post got created. So now it's working on the second one. So let's go ahead and let it finish the second one. It's going to keep sending you draft. I'm going to actually shut this one off because I don't want to receive like 3-4 drafts. But you can see, there you go. That went through. So now it's going to update the Google Sheet, and it's going to go ahead and do the third one. And if we go back to our sheet here, there you go. So now you can see the second one got created as well. And then it's updated the status as well. So now it's going to complete the last one and finish it. And then after this, it should stop because there's no more. There you go. Perfect, right? It said workflow executed successfully, meaning that all these 3 got processed. And since there's no more video links left, and therefore the workflow is going to stop, right? Okay. All right. Well, hopefully you found that helpful. Again, this could be a very cool workflow that you can utilize for other purposes, and really play around with the different versions of this for whatever use case you have. As always, you can always import this entire workflow by going over to these 3 dots here, import from file, and you can grab all of this amongst all of the other workflows that I've done from right here. Under each video, there's the resource file here where you can which is the JSON file that you can download and then import it to your file on your n8n instance, and it will immediately work. And we also have live builds. Like I said, feel free to jump in because this is a really good way for you to understand. Alexandra does a really great job of explaining the different steps, and you can follow her along building these amazing workflows. Same thing, the JSON template files are always available down in the bottom of each section. All right. Well, hopefully you liked the video. Make sure you like and subscribe because I've got a lot more great things that's coming in the pipeline. And again, if you're serious about learning n8n and having a community that's going to support you, and there's a lot of people there who are always providing new opportunities to work on different projects, make money, work with clients, and lots more. So I'm going to put the link in the description. Hopefully I'll see you in this school. Take care, and I'll see you on the next one.